everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name's Kat. I do a lot of makeup challenge and sometimes review, if you can really even call it that, because I don't know enough about makeup to really be good at reviews other than just giving my first impressions on whether I can actually use them or not. But regardless of that, for today I thought I would try something a little bit different because typically my videos are anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes long, and I wanted to try and do some shorter videos just to toss in some extra fun for everybody. And so for those shorter videos, it's going to be kind of a series on just attempting to not recreate, but do a little bit of a variation on different Instagram looks that I've seen. And so I'll make sure to tag down below in the description the makeup artists that I am drawing inspiration from, so that way you guys can definitely go check them out because they are all way better than I am at this. My goal is to try and keep these videos between 5 and 10 minutes, and so I thought that would be kind of fun because you're gonna get to see how I do a look really fast, because I know we all love those super zoomed ahead looks that I do where it's just fast forwarding. In addition to that, it's gonna kind of give me a little bit more of a challenge to really have to edit my videos down between 5 to 10 minutes, and so that's gonna be tricky for me as well. So less talky, more makeup, I guess. But hopefully you guys will enjoy this, and let's go ahead and jump into the first look. To start off, I am applying my eyeshadow to the left side of my face, and for this I was using the Natasha Denona Mini Star palette. To begin with, in the crease and then on my inner eye, I was using the shade Attic. Then second, I went in on the corner of my eye with the shade Earth, and then finally I applied in the center of my eye the shade Orion. From there, I started applying my foundation, which for this I was using the Beauty Blender foundation, and my shade for that, 2.1C. After the foundation, I applied concealer, and for that I was using NARS Light 2.3 from Brûlée, and it's their Radiant Creamy Concealer. For my brow, I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Blonde. Next, for contour, I used the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula in the shade Light Bronzer. Then for blush, I used the NYX Sweet Cheeks Matte in the shade Daydream. For highlighter, I used from Stila the Heaven's Hue highlighter in Transcendence. And then finally, to finish up for mascara, I used the Grande Drama Intense Thickening Mascara. Okay, so now that the regular portion of the makeup is done, I am drawing a line diagonally down my face to split my face in half. And essentially, this is the start of the difference in the two looks. This side is now going to be a grayscale look, and so the first thing that I am doing is applying a base of gray, and for that, I am utilizing two different shades from one of my mini single palettes. And so the first shade that I'm using is Fashionably Slate from the Itsy Cosmetics. That is what I'm using as the base to apply to the entirety of that half of my face. Essentially, the look that we are going for is that half of my face is going to be grayscale and the other half is going to be normal, and then I am going to have tears coming down from both sides. So on the grayscale side, it will be black tears, and on the regular side, it's just going to be regular blue tears. And this idea came from an interpretation of a look that I had seen on Instagram from the user Grace Kathleen, and essentially what she had done in her look was she had grayscale on both sides of her face and then just had kind of like a paint stripe in the middle that was her normal skin tone look on there, and then she had hot pink tears coming down on both sides. On the one side it was just kind of like raining down a hot pink, and then on the other side she had drawn a few teardrops that were hot pink as well. And I really liked her way of contrasting the shades, and how she did the grayscale was really nice, and so that was what inspired me to do my look. And definitely make sure to check her out. I have tossed her handle for Instagram down in the description, and so go check her out because her makeup work is fantastic. The second shade that I used from my singles palette is the shade Unicorn from Mascara Beauty, and that is what I was using to highlight my face before going into the contour portion. In hindsight, I do wish that I had used a slightly darker gray shade for the base on that half of my face, as well as just blending it better so that it was more even, because I feel like at the end of it, it was not blended as nicely as I would have liked. For the contour portion of this look, I was using the Alien palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and I used the shade Black Hole to define my cheeks as well as my forehead line and then the under jaw line as well. And then I kind of darkened a little bit along the cut line that was the diagonal line between the two halves of my face as well, just to kind of accentuate that difference on there a little bit more. To shade in my eyebrow black so that it would match with the grayscale, I used the Bobbi Brown Perfectly Defined Gel Eyeliner in the shade Pitch Black, and this actually ended up doing way better than I expected. I mean, who knew that I would be able to actually draw a brow on correctly? Up next, I went back to my eye to then do a smoky eye on the grayscale side. So the first thing I did was dip into the shade Tall Gray in the Alien palette, and I used that on the crease as well as to cover my lid before going into Black Hole again for the outside corners and then to smoke out the under eye. To highlight my brow bone, I went into the shade Pluto. To finish off the eye look, I went into the same mascara that I used on the regular side, which was the Grande Drama Intense Thickening Mascara, and just touched up the lashes. The next thing that we moved on to was the lip. So on the regular side, I was using the Buxom Plumping Lip Cream in the shade White Russian. And then once I was done with that application, I went into the grayscale side and I started lining it with the NYX Professional Makeup Eye Pencil in the shade Black Brown. And after lining it, I used the Stila Lip Gloss in the shade In the Black. To draw the tears on the grayscale side, I started off with the Seraphine Botanicals Luna liner, which is a water-resistant liquid eyeliner, but I found that that wasn't quite dark enough for me, and so I ended up swapping over to the Benefit Roller Liner, which is a significantly darker and more impactful liner. I also was wanting to keep it fairly messy on both sides, and so for the regular side you're also going to see a very similar messy style of tears. When Grace Kathleen was doing her image, she only had it messy on the one side, and then on the other she drew these really beautiful teardrops, but I am well aware that that is outside of my skill level. For the tears on the regular side, I used the NYX Professional Retractable Eyeliner in the shade Deep Blue, and I did end up tightlining both sets of tears so that it would really blend with the eye and give it kind of a seamless look. As much as I hate tightlining, I felt like it needed to be done. Alright, so this is the final look. I've got tears on both sides. I have to be honest, I'm pleasantly surprised, I guess. I thought it was going to go way worse than it did. I mean, I definitely think there's still tons of room for improvement, but for a first effort, I think that it turned out pretty cool. Hopefully, in the editing, I am successful in cutting this down to between 5 to 10 minutes. But go ahead and let me know if you guys like this short, quick style of video, and if you enjoyed it, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and give me a thumbs up. And other than that, you guys just go have a good one.